Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Gerard Black in the Philippines with the Truth. Ah, man, what a day it was today. I know I'm kind of doing this from my bedroom. Let me see if I can kind of. Nope, I can't. See, I see that light right there over my shoulder, and that's actually the camera recording me while I'm talking to you. But anyway, I want to talk to you for a moment. First, I'm going to tell you a story. Okay. Um, it was this guy who came home every day and he was drunk. I'm drinking my Tanqueray. I figure I would share this with you because I'm feeling a little buzz right now. So that's why I'm making this video because I'm a little buzz making. Okay, there you go. I blocked the light. Okay. So anyway, let me tell you about the story. This guy would come home every day and he was drunk. He spent most of the day drinking with his buddies. Hear the voices in, they seem to say. He drank and he'd come home and he would chase his wife around and she was like, get away, go away, you're drunk, go away, I don't want to talk to you. I don't like you when you like that. So anyway, come here, baby. You know I love you. And she, oh, your breath stink. I don't know where you've been. I don't know who you've been with. But get away from me. Go. And so one day, she was talking to a girlfriend. And so she said, you know he has a drinking problem.
It's a trip, but I ain't one to gossip, so if anyone asks you, you ain't heard it from me.
So why don't you talk him into going to one of those self-help programs and see if you can straighten him out. See if you can probably do something about his alcoholism. So she did. She talked to him and she told him, baby, this really is important to me. Say, because our marriage depends on this. I want you to get help because you're not right. I mean, your head is not screwed on right with what you're doing. So, I can't go on like this. Please, for the sake of our marriage, will you go get help? So he said, you know what? Because I love you, I will go to this help program known as AA. I would go to AA Anonymous. I would check in, which is Alcoholic Anonymous, and I would check in and I would go into a program and so see if I can do something about my alcoholism. Because, to you, it's getting out of control. To me, is that I have no drinking problem. I drink, I fall down, no problem. like this. So anyway, so he goes to the self-help program. After 28 days or 60 days or 90 days or whatever, he gets released. So now he goes to work, and when he comes home, he sits in front of the TV with the remote control, changing channels until it's time to eat. Honey, dinner's ready. Okay. He goes to eat, he comes back, he sits back, and he's watching TV until he goes to bed. So she sees her girlfriend again. She says, honey, did he complete the program? I said, yes, he did complete the program. I said, are you happy with the results? She says, to be honest with you, I liked him when he was drinking. Because he would come home and chase me around. Ah, baby, I love you. I want you. Come here. Ah. Like that. Now he comes home and sits in front of the TV. And we have no life. The reason I tell you that story is because what you're not being told and what you don't know what the dealio is here in the Philippines. there are a lot of foreigners who come here because, for the simple reason is that, they're alcoholics. I mean, they come here to drink themselves to death. When they were home, they got all the bitching and all the complaining about them drinking, about them, not doing nothing.
Find out.
Why don't you get your ragged ass up and go home?
Hey, son of a bitch, I'm as much home here as you are.
No, you're not.
Well, you
I
find
beg
out.
your damn
Well,
pardon.
whose goddamn name's on the deed?
Mine and yours.
But mine is first.
I don't give a fuck if it's
That's not a boy.
first, second, third, or whatever. I put my damn lights out.
Who the hell wants you out, you crazy thing? Boy,
I hate you.
I know that. I know
hate
that.
you.
Why don't you shoot me, you son of a bitch?
I would if it wasn't for going to jail.
Well, hell, they wouldn't even have you in jail.
But you don't do a goddamn thing. You don't work, you don't fuck, you just sit at the window with the AK. You do nothing at home. I see death around the corner. For those of you who don't know that, that's Tupac. So anyway, so rather than I have relatives who are alcoholics. My mother was an alcoholic. My father was an alcoholic. I'm saying it's not a pretty thing watching people who are alcoholics. But you have a lot of foreigners who come here who want to spend their last days of their life not listening to that nagging from a spouse who complains about their drink. So they come here to the Philippines, and you know what they do? They drink themselves to death. You don't know how many times I've heard of someone being killed on a motorcycle because of the drinking, or them just dying because literally they drunk themselves to death. If you watch a lot of places where a lot of foreigners get together, the one thing that holds them together is how many bottles of beer can they drink. How many bottles, 100 bottles of beers in a wall, or how many bottles of beer? Oh, here, I got something for you. What's the song? Oh, my rose, menya. Amen, rose, menya. Amen, rose, my rose. That is in Ukrainian language or in Russian language. And it's the same thing as saying 100 bottles of beer on the wall, 100 bottles of beer. That's their equivalent to saying, what I'm saying, we're getting drunk. So the point I want to point to you, I want to point out to you, is that a lot of foreigners come here because they don't want to hear that shit from the family. They don't want to hear that shit from their spouse, or their ex-spouse or whatever about their drinking problem. So they pack up the truck and they move to Philippines, land of milk and honey, that is. Pretty girls, you know what I'm saying? Top shelf, and they come here and they continue their drinking. It's one of the main bond that foreigners have here in the Philippines is they drink. Now, I'm not down with beer. I never liked beer. Now, I will tell you why. Why? I mean, can we talk? Can we drink and talk? Of course we can. One of the reasons why I don't like beer, because I remember when I was a young kid. I was a young kid, and my father and my uncle used to be upstairs in the attic, and they had a chair, in front of them while they sat down. The chair that had the drinks, the ashtrays, the cigarettes, and all that stuff. And they sit there and they do what they do. They drank. I never fast for my mother and father to be alcoholics. Who am I to say? All I know is that they drank. And they drank so much that it interfered in our upbringing. And I'll leave it at that. So anyway, my My father upstairs, they laughing and all that stuff. And I'm standing there and I'm watching and I'm watching and I'm watching. And my father turns to me and he says, "You want some?" I want to be like the big boys. Yes, of course. Daddy, you drinking it? Yes, I want some, Daddy. I want whatever it is you drinking, Daddy. Can I have some? Can I be one of the boys?
That's my boy.
Yes, Daddy, I want some. So my father said, "Okay, come here." So I came and I stood by that chair with all the cans and all that stuff and whatever. And he put his hand on the back of my head, tilted my head back, picked up a can, and poured it down my throat. But what he poured down my throat was that he poured down the contents of a can of beer that had cigarette butts, ashes. Oh my God, you talking about something disgusting to drink? I was disgusted. I said, like this. My father did that to me. Today, that would be considered as child abuse. But you know what? I never liked beer. I never drank beer. I didn't drink beer. Even when I was in the service, I didn't drink beer because I just didn't like it. I was well past my 30s or even 40s before I started drinking beer. Not that drinking, it means that, if I have to have one, if I'm sitting with 4 dudes and everybody gets beer, okay, I would have a beer. And while they having 2, 3, and 4 bottles of beer, I'm sipping on the first beer and it's so hot, it's like panther piss.
Bartender, where's mine? Now we had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
You see, I never liked beer. I don't see what they like in it. I mean, them juggling. I realize the thing about beer is that you have to drink a lot of it fast to really get a buzz. And I didn't like the taste that much to be able to get that buzz. So anyway, so here in the Philippines, a lot of cats come here to die. They come here to drink themselves to death. I talk to people who say, Mia worked in places that the red table, where they all come and drink or whatever. And we're talking to a girl who says, she was telling me about a girl who her partner, drank, every 2 days he would drink 6 tall bottles of Red Horse and a tall bottle of Tanqueray. Now, if you don't know that's a lot of damn beer, and that was just happening. I have a friend now that wears that him and his wife are going through changes and only says, "Honey, just make sure I have my Tanqueray, Coke, and cigarettes." And you know what? A Filipina is happy. A Filipina is happy to provide that for you. Because you know why? Look what you're giving to her. You're giving her security. You're giving her a home. You're taking care of kids. All that stuff. Now, one very important question I want to ask you is that being in the U.S. or being whatever country you come from, being a drunk, because that's what you are. No matter how you sugarcoat it, no matter how you paint it, no matter how you camouflage it, you're a drunk. Being a drunk in your country and having to deal with old battle axe, someone you've been married to for years, who you're stuck with financially that you can't get away from, but you don't want to get away from because if it breaks up, where the fuck you gonna go? Where the flock you gonna go? Who's gonna put up with your shit? Who has been putting up for years? Nobody. You'll never find another woman to be with you, so you might as well stick with that battle axe. But aha, there's a place you can go. And you know where you can go to die? The Philippines. You can come to the Philippines. You can come to the Philippines and drink yourself to death. And every time when you stagger into the house or go into your home, what do you have? You don't have old battle axe on your back. You have a beautiful, beautiful Filipino girl waiting on you hand and foot, taking care of you, taking off your shoes, taking off your socks, making your food, sitting across from the table, showing you mad camel toe. I mean, looking beautiful, beautiful. Even in your state of mind, you being flocked up on booze. You ain't too flocked up to recognize that you know what, baby, I love you. I love you. She's not gonna argue with you. She's not gonna combat you. She's not gonna complain to you about the bills. She's not gonna complain to you about no food in the refrigerator. She's not gonna complain to you that she don't go out. She's not gonna complain to you that you don't do nothing. She's not gonna complain to you about nothing. Because you know why? Because even with your drunken ass, she never had it so good. This is Gerard, Black in the Philippines. Subscribe, share, and like. And remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect elders, pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you would too. You know what? If you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ollie Woodson, former lead singer of the Temptation once sung, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make me feel like a king. You know what they say? They say the man has no choice of where and who and how he was born, had no control over the color or where he was born. And they say man has no control over what land he's going to die on. But you know what? I've made up my choice on what land I'm going to die on. I'm going to die in the Philippines. I may not die as a drunk. Who knows? I may die smoking. I battle it every day. But you know what? After my wedding on September 17th, I'm going to first time not use contraceptive. And I'm going to nut in that peach. Wee! And those of you who want to be a part of that, look for my Gofundme page. I decided I'm going to do it. Okay? Did I say if you're lucky enough to have a woman treat like a lady and a lady if you're lucky enough to have a man treat like a king? I don't think I did. But you need to hear that again. And you know, am I a little twisted? Yeah, I'm a little twisted. I'm gonna get more twisted. And if you want to know why, talk about the truth in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. I will always love you more. As Humphrey Bogart would say, here's looking at you, sweetheart.